exactly what I do.
White girl. You know what I'm saying? My preference for my sons is to marry women of African descent. Whatever they've got beautiful women of all races, all ethnicity, beautiful women and everything. And I'm gonna be happy if I'm blessed with grandchildren and so on and so forth, in a couple decades or whatnot. But I say that because it makes life a lot less complicated. You see what I mean? In my opinion. Okay. But that's just me. Okay. But I love myself and I love my blackness and I love my people enough to want to keep it, within an African context. And I'm not saying if you sitting up there, you got that fine white woman, and y'all listen to Uncle D, man, go on, give her a kiss. Kiss her right in the mouth. Okay, kiss her right in the mouth. Kiss, grab a little blonde hair. Okay, and y'all just hug up on each other and just Uncle D love you too. I'm just saying my preference is it. And I would say the same thing. If I had Uncle D had a little white nephew, okay, a little adopted son, I'm like, look here, Billy, you need to get on out there and find you one of them blue-eyed, blonde-haired Viking women. Okay, get on out there and get you a white guy. I know you've been eating these collard greens around here and these oxtails, but you need to go ahead and find you a fine white woman. When little Billy grew up, I'm like, Billy, I need you to go ahead and find a white woman, have you some beautiful little pasty mayonnaise children. I'm gonna be the granddaddy. I'm gonna be like, where'd you get them white kids from? This is my grandson, it's my little adopted son. I treat him good. Little Billy. Okay, if I had a little I would. But that's love. Because the ultimate expression of love is wanting to recreate yourself. You understand? So if Uncle D had a little white son, look, come on, man. Billy Zuckenheimer, come on over here, Billy. I need you to get you a white girl now. Get you a fine white woman. Preferably blonde hair, blue. Get you a fine one. And bring her over here, and we'll give them some collard greens and red beans. Uncle D will make I'll make her some shit, man. I'll hook you up, man. I'll get some of that good beef bacon and put it in them collard greens, but we be eating good over here. And then y'all can go on back to y'all little mayonnaise life. I'll come visit. I'll come over there, hang out with you, take an Uber over there so I don't have to drive to your little white neighborhood. You understand? I would. But that's the type of person I am. You see? I want you to do what's in your own best interest. And I personally think that Black people, specifically, we should marry within the Black community, whether it be the Afro-Caribbean, Afro-Latino, foundational Black American. That's my opinion. Okay? And I think little Billy Zuckenheimer, my little adopted son, we're going to get you. I'll take him straight on up to Sweden. We'll get him one. Come on, man. Come on. We're going to. You about 21 now. Come on, man. Let's take you up to Sweden and find you a fine white woman. That's what I would sure do that for him. Praise God. Hallelujah. I had a little son, little Paco. Come on, Paco. Gonna take you down to gonna take where they got the fine Latina. We're gonna take you down to Colombia and get you one of these fine Latina women down here. You okay? Somebody that's gonna make you some tortillas from scratch and all that. We're gonna get you right. Okay, they can come have some hog maws too. I'm just kidding. Let me stop, man. I'm getting out there to tell you. But and so the problem with the race houses is, man, oftentimes they ignore the personal responsibility because that doesn't sell. Nobody wants to hear you tell them about themselves. You understand what I'm saying? And so you got these people. They suggest race is the most important factor in determining success and failure in America. Not your hustle, okay? Not your hustle. Nah, it's race, right? And what this does is it leads to a mindset where people believe they're powerless against racism. Oh my God. Rather than focusing on education, your work ethic, timeliness, responsibility, diligence, toughness, mental toughness, perseverance, race, no matter how, can't, and personal responsibility, okay? You understand me? You're not gonna get anywhere if you're not responsible for the things you do. You don't take responsibility because you never learn, okay? When I look at the Reconstruction era, something I've spoken about here, that was between 1865 and 1877. And for you guys who weren't here, Reconstruction was a time period right after slavery. and shout out to From Here to Enlightenment. Thank you so much. Reconstruction was a time period that right after slavery ended in 1865, the Northern troops remained in the South as occupiers. Okay, they were here and they stayed for about 12 years. And during that time period, man, Black folks became business owners, politicians, educators. We had 100 Black people in the Senate. I mean, 100 Black people in the House of Representatives. I mean, it was just filled up with Black folks. And the reason is because they would not let the traitorous white people run for Congress. Okay, so who else was there to run? They didn't let women run. So the only thing left in the South to run was Black men. So a lot of Black men got elected to Congress. Okay, you see? Now, if they had only focused on oppression and how hard things were, they wouldn't have ran for Congress, because they would have counted themselves out before they even tried. You understand? That's the issue with that victim mentality. You already count yourself out before you get on the field, man. And another thing about these race hustlers, they ignore the progress in our society. Ain't no way you can tell me that things are worse now than they were back when they had signs up that said, "Don't you stop your Black behind in this city." You see what I'm saying? Or they had signs up to say, "You can't use this water fountain. You can't come to this part of town." See, those things were outlawed. Laws, our people fought laws and spent a lot of money on cases to outlaw desegregation and discrimination. We gained access to jobs and education. We got Black folks who are high-ranking political positions. Whether you talk about Barack Obama, who was the whole president of the United States, and even though we don't see him as Black, the rest of them see us as Black. Even Kamala Harris, we don't see her as our kind of Black, but she's some kind of Black, and she was the vice president. You got to look at that, okay? That wouldn't have happened in 1820. Now, again, racism still exists. But if we only focus on it being this overwhelming oppressive force, you ignore the opportunities and success that foundational Black Americans have achieved. We have 1,800,000 millionaires who are foundational Black Americans, or who are Black Americans that live in the USA right now. How did they don't sound like they oppressed to me. Okay? It doesn't sound like, not the type of oppression that you would think. Okay. And again, a lot of these so-called race hustlers or race activists, they suggest that crime and violence are all due to racial discrimination. Look, Uncle D used to shoot craps on the corner curve, okay, with some we'll call them blue rag affiliates. And I've showed you all some pictures of me back in the day before. All right, Uncle D used to hang out in them streets when I was about 10 years old, and I'd be out there shooting craps on the curve with the local representatives, the local blue rag representatives. You understand what I'm talking about? And I used to have a good time shooting crap. Backdoor little joke. You know what I'm saying? 5 off rip. You see what I mean? And there was some close calls when I was 10 years old out there shooting craps on the corner. I remember I tried to leave while I was ahead, and they was like, "Nah, you ain't going over." This dude named Fat Cat from, we'll say, he was a blue rag representative, okay? And he had just showed up. He parked his car in the middle of the street with the engine running. And, the fellas from my community activists, we'll call them, my local community, we'll call them the neighborhood affiliates of the larger organization. I was cool with them. They knew me. But yeah, but Uncle D be out there shooting craps on the curve in the middle of the day instead of being in school. And, he pulled up, and I guess something must have happened. He had pot belly. And so I guess, his waist was a little bit too big for his pants. So he then proceeded to pull out his armaments and his, we'll say 2A. He pulled his 2A out and put it on the concrete. And I'm like, wow, this game just got real serious. I think I'm ready to go home because I'm 10. I wanted to be 10 again. I didn't want to be grown hanging out with the blue rag representatives anymore. on 58th in Kansas, right off of Slauson in Vermont, down the street from the Boys Market. Now, I did not want to be hanging out with the Blue Rag representatives anymore. I wanted to go home and sit in my grandmother's house and watch cartoons and Woody Woodpecker. But now I was locked in a crap game at 10 years old with Fat Cat, who was a member of the Blue Rag representatives. And I wrote about this in my books, okay? So that being the case, I had to finish the game. And when I said I was ready to go, and I was like, I'm ready to go. And he was like, nah, you ain't going nowhere. And I'm like, but sir, it's a free country. We live in America, sir. You can't stop me from leaving. And then he said, but oh, yes, I can, in not so many words. And so, you know, and then one of my local affiliates who was from the community that I'd known, and they were significantly older than I was too, many of which are now incarcerated in the California Correctional Facility for various, you know, misdemeanors and felonies, you know, and, you know, so they're not present at this time. But, you know, they said, well, that young man that you're shooting die with right now, he is the blood relative of Uncle Slim. Uncle Slim being my uncle, and who himself was a known, we'll say, street vendor and affiliate of others in the community, was also known for, you know, practicing the art of dominoes, dice, spades, and various different gaming techniques, often involving unscrupulously loaded dice and such and so forth. Nevertheless, Fat Cat apparently knew who my uncle was, and he then thereby released me to vacate the area. Okay. Now me, because you know, I wanted to, now that I was like, oh yeah, I know somebody in these streets out here. And so I didn't move fast enough. Okay. I didn't move fast enough. And I was like, well, I'm gonna just stay here and just hang out. And then, you know, apparently Fat Cat noticed my presence was still there after I'd been dismissed from the sidewalk. And he said, I said, you can leave. You still here? You got to go. Because remember, I left the game prematurely. The rule is you have to participate in this illegal gaming until it's actually complete. What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the broadcast. This is Uncle D. People wash their ass in the tub, Kamala Harris.
You were tuned in to Uncle D. D's black man talk. Pull up, homie, take a seat. Don't be a shadow watcher every day. You learn something, then you earn something. Let them know and drop some money in the plate. It's getting cold, ladies, talking ratchet. Blizzard King here, grab your coat, zip your jacket. Keep quiet for a second, close your jaw. Attorney Spurling, this ain't pearly, know the law. Talking Constitution, pushing pins when he shooting, give him that. Masculinity, just for the record, sprinkle that. You can keep your cat, gotta cut it. Only cat he rubbing, gotta love it. I call it Molly Buddy. Gotta vote your interest, voting earns. Presidential, this is for the money that I earn. When you gon' learn, my people, that evil mixed with evil. No matter what you're doing, baby, this ain't equal. Sometimes when you're special, you get hated. The test is for the best, you're damn right, my people made it. Uncle D, Blizzard King, you been served, gotta know this. Now black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now. Uncle D, you been served, get your notice now. Black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now. Uncle D, you been served, get your notice now. Black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now. Uncle D, you been served, get your notice now. Black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now.
Hey man, I'll do what I do.
Somebody need to whip your ass.
Get up and whip him, Sweets.
Hey, don't be putting the money in my hand all rough.
Take your ass out here. You buy you a Flowbee and cut your own damn hair from now on.